Hello, so glad you could be here today, and I am going to be reading out loud to you a book about the gold rush. So hold on for a second while I share my screen. All right, so this book is called Turning Points in the U.S. History, the California Gold Rush. Chapter 1, Finding Gold. On January 24th, 1848, men were building a sawmill on a river near Coloma, California. James W. Marshall was one of these workers. So here's California, and here's Santa Barbara, right here. And this is where they were working when gold was discovered. So not near the coast. It's really important that you realize that. Here's San Francisco. These are the Sierra Nevada mountains, so right in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains. All right, this is what a sawmill looked like. It's a place where they were cutting down trees and then cutting the wood into planks that you could make a house out of. So this is Sutter's Mill, and it says, Marshall saw something shiny in the water. It was gold. He told his boss, John Sutter. Sutter asked the workers to keep the gold a secret. Why? Was it worth a lot of money? Yes, it was worth a lot of money. Here's what San Francisco looked like around that time. But the secret got out. A newspaper reported the story on March 15th, 1848. Few readers believed it. Then Sam Brennan told people in San Francisco. Why? He owned a store near the discovery. He wanted gold seekers to come to his store. His plan worked. Many came to search for gold. The California Gold Rush began. News of the gold continued to spread. Thousands of people came to California between 1848 and 1855. They hoped to get rich finding gold. Before the gold rush, many Native American, Mexican, and Spanish people lived here. There were only a few white settlers. And then it says, did you know, 9 days after gold was found, the Mexican-American War ended. The United States gained land. This land later became the states of California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico. You kind of see it right here. And here you can see the lines of wagons coming to California to search for gold. Chapter 2, Hunting for Gold. Getting to California was hard. Why? People came in covered wagons. The journey west across North America was long. Mountains were hard to cross. Here's the covered wagon. Sailing across the Pacific Ocean was easier. Miners came from countries like Peru, Chile, China, New Zealand, and Australia. Others sailed from the U.S. East Coast. Many ship crews left their ships in San Francisco to search for gold. So here's all the ships here, and it says they're abandoned because when the ships would get into San Francisco, even the crew, the captain and all the sailors, they would leave the ship too, and they wanted to look for gold. So those ships were not turning around and sailing anywhere else. They were just left abandoned, sitting there in the San Francisco harbor. About 80,000 men came to California in 1849. This is why people called them 49ers. Small towns became crowded. Boom towns. Living in these towns could be dangerous. Why? They had few laws. And it says, what do you think? Many store owners were richer than gold miners. Why? Supplies were in demand. Store owners could charge a lot. Do you think this was fair? Why or why not? So during this time, a lot of what people were looking for was even just drinking water, because a lot of the gold was found up in the foothills where there was not a lot of fresh water. So they could sell water for a huge price. And people who were rich would pay it. And people who were selling it could make it whatever cost they wanted because they knew people were desperate. And it's kind of similar to what happened with us in toilet paper. How everyone went and got all the toilet paper. And I bet there were some people who would have been willing to pay a lot of money to get more toilet paper when there was none around. And this really happened during the gold rush time. They would sell single eggs for several dollars, even though during back then it would have been like selling a single egg for $10, $20, $30. So that was an interesting thing that happened during the gold rush. All right, miners spent their days looking for gold. At first, they panned it in the rivers, but panning was slow. Rocker boxes sped up the process. So here's a pan, and then here's what's called a rocker box. And this is water right here. And it says, take a look. Take a look at how rocker boxes worked. So dirt and gold. So it looks like they were putting a lot of dirt in and a little bit of gold would have been mixed in. You probably couldn't even have seen it. They would pour it at the top, and then this handle right here, they would move it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It would go down here to this bottom part, and this is called an apron, and then the water would flow through, and these sections here would catch the dirt. And it says, water and dirt are poured into the hopper. Here we go. A screen catches sticks and stones. A miner rocks the box with the handle. This separates gold from dirt. Gold is heavier. It settles. Dirt washes away. Gold is left on the apron. Miners collect it by hand. Very cool bit of technology. All right, chapter 3. The gold rush ends. There was only so much gold on Earth's surface. Miners found much of it. Hydraulic mining began in 1853. Miners sprayed water into mines. This helped find gold underground. And just looking at these pictures, you can kind of predict what is going to happen to these hills here when they're spraying them with these high-powered hoses all day long. If you were, say, a wolf or a deer, what would you think of what was happening to your environment? All right, it says, but hydraulic mining was bad for Earth. Mines left holes in the countryside, rivers filled with dirt from mines. This made it hard for crops to grow. By 1855, there was little gold left to be found on Earth's surface. Hydraulic mining needed fewer miners. Many miners left. Boom towns were left empty. They became ghost towns. So this is 1855. The gold rush started in 1848. People probably didn't quite start getting into the gold fields until almost 1849. So 6 years. 6 years, and like, look at this town here. Left a ghost town. All right, this is San Francisco today. About 250,000 people came to California to find gold during the gold rush. Between 1847 and 1860, the state's population tripled. California would never be the same. It became home to people from around the world. San Francisco grew into a large city. It says, what do you think? Many foreign, that means people from other places, miners, faced prejudice from white miners. Some were even attacked. There was also a special tax for foreign miners. How do you think this felt? Cannot have felt good at all. It seems very unfair. And then here at the end, it just says quick facts and tools as a timeline. This is when gold was found. And then this is about the time when the population tripled, but the gold rush had ended. So a very short period of time. Very important in California history in the sense that this is when so many people came to California. They came here because of gold, and then they ended up staying and doing other things in life after they couldn't find gold. All right, and that's the end of the story. And I hope you're going to the story on Epic because there's going to be a quiz that follows it. All right, thanks.